Hello and welcome to ApexToOval. I'm your host, Alex. This is my co-host, Jack. I'm going to switch it because I can now switch the things. But I'm going to switch it. This is my co-host, Jack. We're here to bring you racing updates, hot takes, and breaking stories from across the motorsports world. Whether it's the latest F1 drama, shocking developments at NASCAR, or news stories you might have missed, we've got it covered. Buckle up because we're diving straight into the action. Let's start with the NASCAR news stories. We have two NASCAR and two F1 stories this week. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, so first off the bat, Denny Hamlin kind of reaffirmed that Corey Heim is part of 2311's future plans, which, we've obviously been rooting for him in the trucks all year, but that's, they got three drivers full-time right now with Herbst, Wallace, and Reddick, and all three of those are under contract through next year, right?
Yep.
Although Herbst has been, I think, performing less. Yeah, he's been pretty bad. But I think there could be an opening for him in a year or two.
Yeah, I am actually very excited that Denny has reassured this. I'm a big Corey guy. He should be in Xfinity this year, but he's not.
Yeah,
He said, I believe, 2 cup races this year. Funny enough, I'm pretty sure his highest finish in the cup this year is higher than Riley Herbst.
is
And
that true?
Herbst is full time. I'm like
That's
90. I think I saw that stat somewhere. Like Herbst finished like 14th or 15th. This is highest or whatever, and Heim finished like 11th or 12th or 13th or whatever.
huh.
So
I'm not gonna
whoops.
I'm not gonna go fact check that now, but I can
Uh,
believe it because Herbst is in
uh,
the bottom three in points.
I will
Like,
fact check it afterward. So we'll have a thing in the middle
okay,
of
because
the highest
Herbst.
finishes.
This is kind of an aside, but you know how the tournament is starting soon?
Yeah.
The driver tournament, that's only the top 32 drivers, and there are 35 full-time drivers. Herbst is one of the three that's not eligible for it. It's like SVG, Riley Herbst, and Ty Dillon, I think.
Damn. That
Like
must
he's like
suck.
second to last in points. Like SVG's ahead of him, I think. I mean, obviously I haven't checked. This was before the Nashville race, but
This can be
that's
fact check immediately. Hold up.
oh yeah. But
This
I,
can
I
be
think
fact
that
check.
eligibility was set before Nashville. That's why I was going off that.
Uh,
But Herbst has had a rough year.
where is it? Herbst, Cole Custer, SVG. After, yeah, so it's Custer, Riley Herbst, and SVG at the very bottom, 33, 34, and 35. Ty Dillon actually moved up one
Okay.
since so Ty Dillon. So it's Custer, Herbst, SVG,
Dang.
and they're all tied with the same 173 points.
Wow. That's unfortunate.
Next best is Brad at 194, which, damn, Brad, you fell
That's
off. But
that's also pretty rough considering
um,
how his teammates have been doing. But anyway,
yeah. Anyway, on to our second NASCAR article. NASCAR is discussing a power increase. So there are discussions going on of giving the current Cup car a power bump. In the conversation are team owners, shareholders, executives, and engine suppliers to see if it is a viable option for the future. Now, I would love a power increase. I would actually love if they just took off the limiter.
yeah, I'm for it. Basically,
I'm,
just
I'm just saying, take off the
give
limiter. We have good racing.
give the drivers as much as they can to work
Yeah,
with. Like if you want to see good racing, you need higher horsepower because you need to put them on the edge.
yeah.
Like that's why the short tracks suck. We were talking about that. You
Mm-hmm.
need more power.
You need more power on short tracks. You need like screw it. I want to see 200 miles an hour down. I don't know if they can actually do 200, but if they can do 200, I want to see 200 miles an hour down Daytona. That's what I want to see.
They can definitely do 200. It's the flipping that's a problem.
See,
I'm actually kind of for the limiter on or the restrictor plates at restrictor tracks. Um
yeah,
because that's a safety thing and you still get restrictor plate like you still get super speedway racing, but at the short tracks especially give them all the power they can get.
I agree. I like that idea. I want to see more power in short tracks, especially short and medium. I want to see more power.
Yeah, I mean, I think the mile and a half racing is good right now, but I'm sure adding more horsepower would not hurt because that just gives the
Eventually,
drivers more to work with.
yeah. I mean, also eventually, Kyle Larson is just going to be so dominant on the mile and a half that like it's just not going to be fun to watch. So,
Who
if
says
we
he
can get
wouldn't
more
be when he
horsepower,
gets more horsepower?
hey, all I'm saying is if you give Joey Logano more horsepower, Joey Logano will provide for everyone.
Okay.
All right, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Right, give Joey
Our
what he
Connecticut
needs.
King.
Our Connecticut King. Um, all right,
On to the
next
F1
one.
news stories then.
On to the
Um,
F1.
the big one this week is that F125 is finally out. I always hate how it releases a few weeks into the season, but
Oh, I know. It sucks. Oh my God.
just a few days ago, this Friday, right, was the full
Yeah.
release of F125.
May 30th. No, no, it's Saturday. Was it not?
I'm pretty sure it was Friday.
I'm
Because
looking up. Oh yeah, it was Friday. Okay, I
doing
keep
math in
forgetting
my
that.
head.
Yeah, it was
But
Friday.
it got mixed reactions, as you'd expect from, another year of an EA sports game. Um, so, you've had some good takes or good reactions. Not talking about the quality of the take. You've had some good reactions, people saying it's better than 24, and you've had some, including Yarno Otmir, basically saying it sucks. Um, if you want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, so I am going to buy the game at some point because I would like to. The new, so they updated some things completely, and then they didn't update others. So like, um, what's it called, like team manage mode. I forget what it's called, but like you can like create your own team and like manage your own team. That mode got completely overhauled this year. Every other game mode got like minor changes. It's like I appreciate you completely overhauling it so it's better, but like I need better changes to the other modes. Also, they have a special, I forget what it's called, but it's like a special scan that they scan the tracks with, certain tracks, and they have basically like a 1-to-1 of every track of the tracks that they scanned. So it every bump on that track in real life you feel in the game. Um
That's good. Yeah, I remember them
yeah.
talking about that. Um,
So it should be on all the tracks starting next year, I believe, because they've done it for a good chunk of them this year, if not all of them this year. But it's just something that they're doing that's new. Um, Now, whether McLaren is the fastest team in the game, I don't know. I would assume so, but
we talked about the ratings a couple weeks ago. It seemed like
yeah.
everything was done preseason. So
Yes.
hopefully
So,
they've.
uh, hold on. Well, apparently, I think they redid some of the ratings.
Oh, thank God.
I think.
But yeah, while you're working on that, I am also gonna get it in the coming days. Part of the reason I've been gone the last couple of weeks is because I haven't had Wi-Fi. I'm moving and then traveling, and this is like my first day in the new place, so got a slightly different background for you. But once we get everything unpacked and Wi-Fi up and running, I will be playing F125 to my heart's content. Um, so maybe by next week's podcast, I'll have a more detailed review on it. But for now, my wheel and pedals are safely off to the side while I'm working on packing.
All right, I lied. They did not update any of the ratings.
Tragic. That sucks.
Tragic. Um,
Because Hajar
they
should not, like, if nothing else, Hajar at this point might be the best rookie. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Well,
good,
the
good.
Hajar is like the lowest rated rookie at a 68, but let's not forget he is second in F2 last year, right?
Yeah.
Also, how are you putting Isaac Hajar close to like 90% of the people that aren't in F1 in the game? Like, there's like multiple drivers in F2 currently that are like 65 rated.
Yeah, I don't know.
66, 67. How is that? How? I don't understand. I don't understand how that happens. Um,
Yeah.
Rough. That's what it is. Um, On to our second F1 article, our last article for the day. Um, F1 Academy now has their own docu-series. The F1 Academy and Netflix came out with a 7-part docu-series for the 2024 F1 Academy season, which premiered on May 28th. This docuseries gave an inside look on the journeys of the young women taking part in F1 Academy. Now, I did see on social media a certain F1 Academy champion, Marta Garcia, getting no mention in any of the F1 Academy series. So it looks like they literally just made it on last year.
Yeah, it seems like from what I saw about the reaction, it seems I basically was hearing from people that how much you like the series is how much you like Bianca. Oh shoot, what's the
Bustamante?
last name? Bustamante. Yeah, and I think like Abby Pulling is the other one who was like featured super heavily.
Well, that makes sense. She was leading the championship the entire season, so that
Yeah,
makes sense.
but it like
Um,
it focused very heavily on a couple people. It seems like so it's very much how you feel about their personalities is how much you like the series.
yeah. Also, want to point out they mained the series on Bianca yet she got dropped from McLaren.
Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense. No,
yeah,
Bianca is talented. Don't Bianca is talented. Don't get me wrong, but like, I mean, I guess hindsight's 2020. I guess when they were making it, they didn't realize she was dropped already. Or dropped. Yeah,
yeah. Because I
something
mean,
like
she
that.
was popular, you know.
She's very popular. She just never had like too good of a. Um,
Yeah,
she never did too well in F1 Academy
my
compared to the
Netflix.
top.
Uh,
But it, Netflix is about personalities, so you know
yeah, I
she'll most
mean,
likely get sponsored from it. So
you'd expect it to be Drive to Survive like,
yeah, I
personality
am gonna
wise.
watch it though. It does sound good.
Yeah, I hopefully I will. My Netflix finally got region locked. It took months, but it finally got locked for me not being in like my household for being
Oh,
away at school.
hey, if you
And
need me to, I got you.
yeah, maybe we
I
we
know
have
where
a
you
little
live.
have a little movie night.
Yeah,
Oh, like that. Oh.
yeah. I can help you get unregion locked.
uh I thought you were going to stream it.
Oh,
Don't
I
listen
can stream
Netflix.
it. I can stream it if you want. Yeah.
Maybe later this week. Might
All
have
right,
some time for
bet.
that.
I got you.
But yeah, because
Um,
I would like to watch it. Same as I would like to watch a few of the racing things that have come out. Like the new
yeah.
season of that NASCAR one came out since I lost
Ooh,
access, I
there's
think.
also a Dale Jr. one that came out
Ooh.
as well. They were pushing on Amazon during the races, so um, yeah, they were pushing it. So there's new Dale. Oh, maybe it's a Dale Senior. I don't remember. It was one of the Dales that it was about. It looked interesting. There's a lot of good, Netflix and Amazon docuseries that are coming out and have came
Yeah,
out. There's
a lot
obviously
of good
the
racing
IndyCar
content.
one that came out, right? There's an IndyCar one.
I don't remember. Would it have been on like Tubi or something? Because Fox? Or, um,
100 Days to Indy. It was on Netflix.
Netflix. Okay. Dang.
Season 2 is scheduled to come out. Okay, so they have 2 seasons already. Yeah. Well,
Good
it's an Indy.
stuff.
I think it's an Indy 500. No, is it?
Oh, 500 specific? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 500 specific. But that one also looked kind of interesting. Anyway, let's talk about the races that went on. You had let's just start out with the Rackley Roof 200, the Truck Series, which took place on Friday. Roger Carruth was your winner, his first win of the season, and his second in NASCAR.
Well, at least in the top
in,
three
in
series.
the top 3 series. Your remaining top 10 was Corey Heim in P2, and then Lance Riggs, Daniel Hemrick, Corey Day, Caden Honeycutt, Chandler Smith, Ty Majeski, Bailey Curry, and Grant Enfinger in P10. Now, I am pissed off I didn't watch this because I don't know what I was doing. Uh, I know what I was doing. Nefarious activity. No, I took an edible, and so I was not. I fell asleep way too early. No, I took
Okay.
an edible, fell asleep. I was just like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't watch it because I fell asleep too early, and then I stayed asleep. But a race I wish I could have watched. I have it taped, so I'm going to watch it eventually, but my boy Raja won. I was very happy. I get to see him race in a couple of weeks, which is nice, too.
But yeah, this was a good race. Um, Always happy to see Raja win. Good runs from Heim and Riggs, which those two seem to be kind of setting the standard for the series this year. And Corey Day with the top five on asphalt and only like, I think he's only run maybe like 24 races on not on dirt, like in his career.
Yeah, isn't he like a major dirt?
Yeah, he's kind of handpicked by Kyle Larson. That's why. So that's
Oh,
kind of how he got this ride. Is that he was handpicked as like a dirt superstar to try to make that transition and come up to NASCAR. So he's a big prospect, but he's still really new, and so it's nice seeing him run
uh,
this well.
dirt as in like extreme dirt tour from NASCAR Heat 5.
Someone's been playing NASCAR Heat 5.
I'm cracking good at what can I say? No, it was a good win from Raja. I cannot wait to watch it back later today. Just eating dinner or whatever because I do need to watch it. But it was a good race. I was surprised Heim didn't win. I was surprised Heim didn't win because he seems to be like the front runner for everything. So yeah. On to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. There was the Tennessee Lottery 250. Justin Allgaier was your winner for his third win of the year. Connor Zilic was P2, followed by Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, Ross Chastain, Almirola, Austin Hill, Jesse Love, Kevin Quapple, and Sammy Smith. Now, again, I didn't watch it. I was not high this time. I just didn't watch it because I think I was in the middle of something. And I just couldn't watch it. I
Tragic.
forget what, but yeah. I've been
I
slacking recently. I need to step up my game.
Allgaier. I mean, this was a dominant day for him. He got max points, both stages, fastest lap, and the win. Zilic was really good here. Both the Fords that round out the top four, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, were both really good. Especially Creed, kind of towards the end, but not at the end, was running up front. But he just got passed by the two Chevys as time went on. But Ross Chastain, I mean, we clearly didn't say enough about Justin Allgaier's performance, but Ross Chastain did not have a very good car, but he was going crazy on the restarts. And Chastain is just the best restarter in the sport, but like he'd be getting like 5 positions in the first like couple laps of every run. And then his car not being good would catch up to him. But it was nuts watching him work.
God, give Ross a NASCAR Cup. Someone like Hendricks or like Penske, go sign Ross, please. I just need to see him restart with a great car. You know what I'm saying? Like, please. Okay. I was saying that
Yes,
Ross
we're good.
Chastain. I was saying Ross Chastain needs to get a better ride, either at Hendricks or Penske, so he can just be a restart
Yeah.
god in a good car.
Oh, watching him in a Hendrick would be
Unstoppable.
crazy. Like he was
Unstoppable.
really good when Trackhouse was better a few years ago. I mean, he made it into the championship four.
Yeah.
Like he is a really good race car driver.
Hendricks, I make you a proposal. You get rid of Kyle Larson in change for Ross Chastain. Will you take my deal? Please. I beg.
Trade offer.
Trade offer. You get, you know the TikToks, you get Ross Chastain. I get Kyle Larson out of the Hendricks car. Um. Anyway, let's move on to the Cup race, the Cracker Barrel 400. Now, I'm a big fan of Cracker Barrel, so they got some good pancakes, they got some cool candy, they got some nice sodas. Love Cracker Barrel. Anyway, your winner was Ryan Blaney, and your remaining top 10 for his first win of the season, by the way. After such an unlucky year, finally gets a win.
All of
Your remaining
Penske and
the
Barry.
all of Penske is your remaining top 10 was Carson Hocevar in P2, then Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, William Byron, Bubba Wallace, Eric Jones, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, and then Christopher Bell in P10. And yeah, as Jack said, Penske finally has everyone winning. Joey Logano won. Austin Cindric won. Ryan Blaney's now won. And their team, they're like little friendship, the power of friendship team with Josh Berry, he won. So, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, good for them. And also good for Carson Hocevar, who finally finished a race without his
Oh,
car giving up on him.
and did really well.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what?
Claps for Spire not breaking the car. You know,
Hendrick Motorsports, I have another proposal. You get rid of Kyle Larson, and I
again.
give you again, and I give you Carson Hocevar. What are your thoughts?
I like Hocevar. And Bubba
I like
also,
that.
for the first time in 3 races, actually finished a race.
Yeah,
Um, and 2311 in general was having a really bad run, but good,
but if he
good
did
get back
well,
week for some guys.
got in the top 10, cracked and goaded with the sauce.
Well, and Bubba too. He came back from he was speeding on pit road earlier in the race, and a
Yeah,
green flag stops, so that put him down a lot. Had to get the free pass, all that, but to come back and finish six is really good.
could have probably won it if he didn't speed. Damn it.
Well, I don't know those leaders. I mean,
No,
Blaney, Denny.
no. The power of friendship gives Belva Wallace the win.
You're right.
I'm right. No.
You're right.
Bubba probably couldn't have got
Always
the
right.
win, but he would have been up there for sure. Would have been up there.
So,
At
how
least a
about
little higher.
F1? I
F1. Yes.
You get to see this one, right?
I did get to see this is like the one race this
The
I'm so bad at
Spanish
this,
Grand
guys.
Prix.
I have a motorsports account. I have a motorsports podcast, and I don't watch the motorsports. I am a terrible person. I know. I will get to watching them at some point. I promise. Like I will get better. I was actually a lot better when school was in session, so maybe I should just go back to school. Um,
Yeah,
but your
stop
winner was
having
Oscar.
work on the weekends.
Thank God I don't have work on the weekends anymore. Oh my God. Your winner was Oscar Piastri for his fifth win of the season. Fifth, five, five. Your P2 was Lando Norris and P3 was Charles Leclerc. And good race. Piastri led damn near every lap, and Lando really wasn't close.
I mean, he was
But
4 seconds back, but it was tire management.
yeah, but also at the restart, I mean, at the very end, like Piastri put 2 seconds on him
Yeah.
in like
No, that's what I mean. Like, Piastri was tire managing. I don't think
yeah.
Lando was necessarily pushing because he had to keep his tires fine. But,
But I
like,
think they did pit stops relatively like they definitely could have. Lando definitely could have pushed.
but as soon as Lando started pushing a little bit and he gained like half a second on Piastri, suddenly Piastri sped up and put
Yeah.
that half a second right back. And it was like, okay, like he's just in control. That's fine.
But yeah, the ending was very fun. If you didn't watch the F1 race, we're gonna actually talk about part of the ending. But
But hey, Ferrari podium.
Ferrari
Um,
podium.
Lewis was really struggling at the end because of tires.
Now here's the thing: Nico Hulkenberg,
Berg. Yeah.
Hulkenberg. What a race from him! Genuinely, what a race from him! Like in how bad the Sauber is.
P5.
P5?
P5.
P5? P5? Absolutely disgusting from Nico Hulkenberg.
Sauber better than Red Bull confirmed.
Well, Sauber better than freaking Ferrari. What the fuck? Anyway, Hadjar got points. Gasly got points. Fernando Alonso got his first points of the season.
To replace Stroll carrying the mantle for Aston Martin.
Yeah, dude. Bro, I literally made a post earlier a couple weeks ago and it's like Lance was actually good.
That's a
And
story we should cover next week when we get some more details out.
Bro, everyone in my comment section was like, bro, Lance Stroll, are you kidding me? Lance Stroll, you gotta be joking. Like, no, dog. He's beating his teammate by a long mile. Like, get the... Alright. And then Max Verstappen, P10.
Yeah, everything with Lance Stroll, we should cover that next week once we get a little more like clarity. Because there's been whispers of stuff coming out, but there isn't. Like we need a better picture to be painted before we put stuff out. But
yeah, your DNFs were Alex Albon and Kimi Antonelli. The Kimi one was really unfortunate because his tires just locked up in a very unfortunate spot where there was no runoff, and he just went right into the gravel.
He had a power unit failure as well, right?
Did he really?
I thought his engine blew.
Shoot. Oh, I know he locked up like the corner. His engine might have blew up as well, but I know that his tire, like his back right tire, back left tire, like locked up, and then he just didn't turn. I was like, oh, okay, well, into the gravel. And then Albon, he got in contact with someone, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think. I mean, he had to retire later on. Like there was
Yeah,
damage that they ended up having to retire him for, but like
but
it
he
it was yeah,
rough
because
race
his
for
front
Albon.
wing got messed up. They replaced it, but then he still had to retire.
Yeah, and what a recovery drive from Carlos Sainz, P18 to P13, P14, or like P17 to P14. What a drive from Carlos Sainz.
For
Um,
Antonelli, it was a loss of oil pressure, so it was an engine related issue,
oh,
which the Mercedes engines have been failing a lot recently. For Antonelli
yeah.
twice now, and for customer teams, like for everyone except McLaren apparently, but everyone else that's a
I think,
customer is having
you know
issues.
what that makes, you know what that makes me think? They're cheating. Just kidding. Whoa, no, McLaren aren't cheating. Most likely, we think. I
Most
hope.
likely, we think. I mean,
We
every
think.
team's cheating a little, but
They've done it before. They've cheated before. So it's like
I
it
mean,
is
let's be
possible.
real. This is racing. Everyone's cheating a little bit. It's just,
Yeah, who's cheating
you
better?
know, exactly.
Yeah. Um, the Cyber actually had a lot of pace this week. As Bortoleto finished P12.
Yeah. No, the
That
Sauber,
Sauber had
like,
pace.
I mean, Nico was able to pass Lewis because of like tire stuff. Like Lewis was really struggling.
Yeah. Well, Lewis has
Kind of at the
been
end there.
struggling all race pretty much. Like he was barely able to keep Russell behind him for so long.
Yeah, but like so it's not like the Sauber was faster than the Ferrari by any means,
Yeah.
on equal footing, but it was still up there. Like this, the midfield has been chaotic because there are weeks where like the Sauber for much of the season has looked like the worst team on track. There are weeks where Haas looks like the worst team on track by a mile, and then there are weeks where Aston Martin or Alpine looks by far the worst. Like it's so track dependent for them, but they all can rotate in where they get in that point scoring like speed.
Yeah. It's weird how they run it. And Yuki Tsunoda finished outside of the points again.
Yeah, well, they screwed him up in qualifying. Um,
Yeah.
did you see
But
the thing with his wing that they
yes.
put on like a different wing for him, and then it didn't work out for him. So he
Yeah.
started from the pit
But
lane because they like undid that change, I think.
yeah. But then again, like I don't know if they're screwing him over like over like a lot because like he doesn't. I don't know what's going on with the Red Bull Yuki thing
It's
because he
back to
has
how it used to be. Like it's
he's
just
not finishing well.
chaos.
Like doesn't matter if they mess up by accident. Red Bull, I mean, like Yuki still isn't finishing in the point. Like it's.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I saw an article while looking for articles this week, and it was of Scott Dixon from like March, like mid March, and it was like, "Don't worry, Liam, you're not gonna have that much pressure at Red Bull because the car isn't as good as it was before."
Uh-oh.
And I just saw that, and I was like, "Well, that's a bad timing." Um, but yeah, that was a funny thing I saw. And then Lance obviously didn't participate because he
Hand
the
issue.
hand wrist issue is what we're gonna label it as.
Yeah,
We'll get more to it next week when we find out more.
because there's also some underlying behavioral stuff going on that
Yeah,
we want more clarity on.
yeah. Let's go to the IndyCar Detroit Grand Prix. I mean, Kyle Kirkwood, what a race, especially with wing damage or like front, low damage. What a race. Santino Ferrucci
It's
P2,
crazy
Colton
how
Herta
nobody finished
P3.
P2 and it just went straight to P3. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, crazy.
No, my dislike of Santino Ferrucci is strong. It's a strong bit.
The hate in you was strong, my young one.
But yeah, Santino Ferrucci P2, Colton Herta P3. Finally, he had a race where so many other people's races went to shit, but his didn't for once.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
I
Andretti
was
as a whole, and especially Herta, has just been cursed.
Oh yeah, I was keeping kind of like tabs on it because I was at a training for work and was keeping tabs because of Bob Pockris, my goat, um, the greatest reporter, motorsports reporter of all time.
My groat,
Oh my god,
my
greatest
gumroat.
reporter, my goat, greatest reporter of all time.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
keep tabs with Bob Pockris. Thank you. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I heard, especially the ending, which
Yeah,
we both
it was
missed.
eventful. It was not Pelot domination by any stretch, and Pelot ended up even crashing. Um, but even before that, he was not really like, he was running fine, but he wasn't dominating. Um, it was a good day.
Yep.
Good day
And
for
then
IndyCar.
there's a major crash between rookie Louis Foster and I think Rosenquist. Rosenquist. I believe it was Rosenquist doing some on. Hold up, IndyCar.
Sorry, I have a train coming by here, so I was switch muting real quick while it got loud. But and
Yeah,
while you're
it was Felix Rosenquist and Louis Foster in the crash. And they were both okay, but it was a scary crash.
and a couple extra tidbits for this race. It was Kirkwood who was being pushed around by Will Power in practice, right? Um, coming in, you see that? You know what I'm talking about?
I
In a
don't.
practice session, Will Power was frustrated with Kirkwood going as slow as he was. Literally just drives the front wing into the back of him and shoves him through a corner and then off to the side.
That's so
One of the
funny.
nuttier things I've seen in racing. But also put on a good race here at Detroit, and right afterwards they announced they have a 3-year deal, like a 3-year extension in place with the city of Detroit to keep running it. So good stuff all around.
Yeah, good stuff all
By the way,
around.
Power did not get penalized for that,
That is,
which
yo,
is
that,
crazy.
dude, F1, dude, if that was an F1, oh my god, the scenes, banned for a race, like, god, the scenes that it would. Well,
Yeah.
actually, we'll
Well,
talk about,
all
well,
right. How
maybe
about our
not. I
topic
mean,
of the week?
let's go to topic of the week, baby. During the Spanish Grand Prix, Max and George were having a little bit of a fight that led
Well,
to Red Bull Racing telling Max to let George by because he overtook him off track, and the stewards were going to give him a penalty if he didn't. This made Max angry, and Max retaliated by making contact with George's car by running him in a corner. Here's the thing: the stewards were never going to make Max give back the place. Red Bull just had an error, and on top of that, at the end of the race, Max was given a 10-second penalty and 3 penalty points, putting him in 10th place and giving him 11 total penalty points on his license. To note, 12 penalty points is a race ban. So should Max have done what he did? Should the penalty have been harsher or lighter? And thoughts on the whole situation?
um, well, first of all, I feel like he should have been disqualified from the race,
I believe that as well.
at least, or suspended, but just because that is such a clear, like he so clearly caused a collision just for the sake of like being angry, and then that is not something that you can do,
Yeah,
right? Um, Now I understand that. Well, and the problem is not the way that he did it, because I think technically the way it's set up on track with the way the rules have been established, like if you look at it by the rule book, it was Max's corner, but Max moved over to the side ostensibly to let George around. The teams were saying that, right? And you can't just then speed up and plow right into him. Like that's
yeah,
not okay. There are no circumstances in which that is an okay thing to do in a Formula One car.
I agree. I think
Uh,
Max should have gotten, as you said, disqualified, but also I think he should have gotten at least a race ban, if not
yeah,
multiple race bans for that.
I I don't necessarily disagree. I think a race ban probably. I don't know about multiple, just because it it could
I
have been worse. Like there,
yes,
which
but also
is a dumb thing to say, but it's not
I
like
think
he pushed him off at like Spa, at like Eau
yeah,
Rouge.
I think though, for my reasoning for multiple race bans, like you cannot set a precedent that's the
Yeah.
penalty for intentionally like you need to like it's like the NFL. They have such baby penalties most like sometimes, and then like the hard hitting penalty like stuff that you should get large penalties for. It's baby stuff, and the little stuff it's harsh penalties. Like to save an F1, like you can't set that precedent that you can
Yeah.
get away with that. Like a multiple race ban, although maybe too much, should have been at least thought about. If
Which is
race,
yeah.
I saw a lot of people on social media be like, "Oh my God, Max is so quirky because he did that," and I'm like,
What?
"Are you guys like
No.
okay? Are you guys good? Like,
You can't do that in NASCAR. In
no,
NASCAR, you have like composite body stock cars.
no, yeah, it's like no, like you guys, and I'm not gonna like just it didn't make a lot of them are Red Bull fans too, and it's like, oh my God, Max is so like quirky. Like, guys, you do realize he caused a collision, right? Like
Yeah.
purposely because he was angry,
He
right?
should have
It's
just
not,
he should have just not let him by if he disagreed.
yeah,
Like how George just took the friggin' like skipped the chicane and took
yeah,
the
in
penalty in
Monaco,
Monaco.
yeah.
Like if you're grouchy about it, there are ways to do it that aren't just driving right into the other car.
Yeah. See, he pulled the
Um
full Yas at that point.
yeah, what? Huh. Interesting. Um Although speaking of a race ban, his I think two of his penalty points expire at the end of this month.
Yes. Yeah, he has two
But
races to be clean. Two
let's
races.
see.
Let's see if he isn't clean. It's a race ban. I'll come on here and cackle so hard if he gets a race ban. That'd be
I
so funny.
I saw
He doesn't.
someone saying that he's playing 4D chess. He's going to try to get himself a race ban so that when Drugovich comes over to replace Stroll, who's recovering from his injury,
Yeah,
that Max then goes to replace Drugovich in Le Mans.
that's a banger. That's a banger conspiracy theory. I like that. Hold on.
Hang
Who
on.
was that driver, Jack?
I lost you again.
What? Oh, I said that's pretty good. I'm trying to find something. Hold up. You know who you should put
All
in for
right.
Max Verstappen?
Who?
Do you want my full opinion? Mahavir.
I know my opinion.
Ra-
Yeah.
Mahavir.
My
Mahavir.
goat.
Ra-
Ragunathan.
Ragu- Ra- Ragunathan. I
Mahavir.
just
The
fell off my
goat.
chair. Put my goat back in. He was never in F1. He was only like F2. Put my goat in
He
F1,
did like a
man.
test.
Put my goat. Yeah, he did a test for some reason, like years ago. Put my
Mahavir,
goat
my
in
goat.
F1. My
We need
goat.
him back.
We need him.
He might get 12
We
penalty
need him
points
back,
in
man.
one race.
Just starts running into people on like. Just
That
does what
reminds
Max
me.
did,
I
like,
gotta
hides
rewatch
behind.
that video. I forget who that was.
Yeah, I do.
Was it Josh Ravel? Or was
I
it
don't
someone
know.
else?
It's a
I
great
don't
video,
remember,
though.
but beautiful
If
video
you
on
haven't watched
Mahavir.
it, there's a video on him, and it's a beauty. Just
It
explaining his
is
entire
one of the
career.
best things I have ever seen.
It's amazing.
All right.
But yeah. Anyway, let's go to little
Predictions?
Predictions. So there, looking on the fly, there's no IndyCar. IndyCar is in 2 weeks. I believe
No
there's
F1?
also no F1. The next
And
race
no
is my
trucks.
favorite race in 2 weeks.
Oh wait, no, sorry. Not no trucks. No Xfinity.
No Xfinity. Really? Damn.
I believe we just get trucks on Saturday, but no
We just
Xfinity
get
race.
Trucks on Saturday. Yeah, just trucks on Saturday at Michigan, and then the Cup at Michigan. So let's get our picks in. My pick for the trucks, you already know, is Corey Heim.
Time time.
It's Heim time. It's Corey Himes. They should do a sponsorship of Corey Himes sauce.
What?
Himes.
Oh.
It's like
Man,
whatever
they
he
should
puts
name
in
a
his-
football field in Pittsburgh after that.
Himes. No. We need Acrisure Stadium still. No. It hasn't done its full. No, we need Acrisure Stadium. You know what we should actually do is Acrisure Field for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Thoughts?
What if we didn't do that? How about that?
Suit yourself.
I just a thought.
What would you do for the trucks race?
um, I actually, this is a tough one because I want to double check who's on the entry list, if it's out yet, because I don't think it is, but maybe it's on, is it on Bob Pockers's Twitter? Or sorry, X, the everything app?
No, don't.
Because
no,
we're recording
no.
earlier than we usually do. So,
We are. That is true.
yeah, without that, I'm going to stick with Lane Riggs, who, in my opinion, has been the second best driver in trucks lately. Like, at least over the last couple months. He's put together some really good runs. He's kind of been the flagship forward there for FRM. I mean, there are times, I feel like he's had race-winning speed very often. So I don't know how he would be specifically at Michigan, because Michigan's kind of a big track, but I'll put my chips on him for this week.
And that's fair. For the Michigan International Speedway race for the Cup Series, the Firekeepers Casino 400. Now, this is an interesting one because normally I look at who has the best running position and I just choose one of them. But I'm not going to do that this week. I'm going to go purely based off of mindset. And I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin to win this race. Got to go with Denny.
All right. Hang on.
Bless you.
Yeah, it was sneeze time. I am going to go, since you took Denny, I'm taking Kyle Larson. I think that you leaving me Larson at Michigan, I got to go for it. This is one of those tracks where those kind of drivers where you can rip the wall like that, like at Homestead, right? Kind of like at Darlington. This is a track where Larson was good at when he was with Ganassi. And I'm pretty sure has been good at in general. Although I don't have the stats in front of me. But I would be picking Larson or Reddick here if I had to pick someone. And right now Larson's got the better car than Reddick. So Larson it is.
No, Larson's on a cold streak since the Advent Health 400. He about to DNF again.
No, that would be my luck. So.
Right, well, he did finish 8th last race, but I'm gonna predict it. Kyle Larson is DNFing in the Firekeepers 400.
All right.
I'm calling it right now. Anyway.
But yeah, he is. Actually, Joey Logano is also pretty good at this track. Interesting.
Joey, come win a race. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know what else to say. Hopefully I will watch all the racing this week. I promise. But yeah. Jack, do you have any final thoughts?
My only final thoughts are that I'm gonna miss racing this weekend. We only get trucks and cup. That's after the full weekend we had the last couple of weeks. You know, we had the Christmas of racing and then a really great weekend last weekend. It's gonna be boring.
It is. It's gonna be all right though. We'll get some good news stories next week. We'll have.
Oh yeah, we should do it.
Cars.
The movie.
The movie.
From 2006.
From 2006.
Featuring Owen Wilson.
Featuring Owen Wilson and Larry the Cable Guy.
And a lot of NASCAR people.
Yes.
I'm listening.
All right. We will do a Cars episode next week.
Cars recap.
Cars recap, guys. We're gonna watch it live.
Piston Cup recap.
Screw it. Piston Cup recap. Yeah, we will come up with something for the Cars next week. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day, and thank you for watching Apex to Oval.